How would you feel about a TV show similar to Undercover Boss, but instead of companies they secretly infiltrate and film police forces? Lol, everyone has to know Undercover Boss is fake though, right? Like some guy shows up to your work with a camera crew, you know exactly what's happening. It also just doesn't fit with the whole Undercover Boss premise, that someone who doesn't normally get their hands dirty, down in the weeds, gets a turn to see what's going on the ground level. For this to work with police officers, I guess we'd have to see what? Police critics putting on uniforms and working a shift? Holy cats, that could go all sorts of wrong. WWE, Undercover Boss, so that's 2 down. Thanks Internet. WWE did an Undercover Boss episode. I mean, I thought it was pretty easy to recognize Stephanie McMahon, but maybe it's just me. No way anyone at the company would have seen her on TV twice a week every week. It's still real to me, damn it. And there's always that one person in every episode that has the extreme sob story that makes everyone break into tears. That's obviously going to be one of the people that gets help from the boss at the end. Yeah, like if some TV crew shows up with cameras to film the new guy and an obvious fake mustache, then I'm definitely hamming it up to try to get a car or some crap. Though, I'd probably just troll it hard enough to make sure the episode never airs. Probably talk about how hard my life is with such an enormous penis, but my work health insurance won't cover the reduction, so I have to tuck it in my own butthole for safety or something. But that's also lead to 47 sexual harassment complaints against me, but all the complaints are also for me. Like some guy shows up to your work with a camera crew, you know exactly what's happening. Yes, but it's under the guise of a different type of reality show. I bet the first season or 2, they got away with it. After that, it was probably too easy to spot even if it was a fake premise. Yup, similar to Impractical Jokers, I imagine. They were able to get away with stuff earlier, but once it got more popular, really tough to pull off. The only people that believe Undercover Boss is real are people who never worked retail. Hate that show with a passion. Out of touch boss in dollar store disguise pretends to be poor. Then shockingly blesses 2 workers with a pittance for being able to use their crappy life for content. F off. Honestly. Here's a car for the one who had the best sad story, the rest of you can F off. The boss always pretends to be so personally affected, but they never actually change anything that matters. It ends up being a total circle jerk. Their stories are all so touching and sad. Let me end their troubles right now by closing down this branch and outsourcing their jobs to Bangalore. Chill, man. We only take IT jobs, man. Your retail job is safe. This comment made me audibly laugh. It's a PR stunt. They don't care even a tiny bit about changing anything in the company, they just want potential customers to think they do, so it makes them look good. A company I used to work for was on Undercover Boss. We kept getting all these directives from corporate about different posters / signage / etc. We needed to have up stuff our website had to have, all using the episode as some kind of advertisement. CEO was clueless and a really bad actor. Sob story guy seemed picked ahead of time. I can't remember exactly what the prize was, but I remember it being underwhelming. I think maybe he got a job at corporate? Nothing changed for us after that. There was no "oh, I've seen the error of my ways, let me help our employees by doing something," just a big PR stunt. In exchange for your crafty job, you'll now have a crafty job with lots of oversight. Congratulations. Here's a check for $2,000 to help with your sad medical bill story. Of course, maybe you wouldn't have that story if we provided our employees with decent health care. But then we wouldn't have the opportunity to film this TV show that makes people believe we give a crap about our employees. Anyway. Hell yes. Every story about some private person helping others is really a story about how everyone else is effed over by the lack of social supports. AKA half the stories on /r/uplifting news, Reddit link. Local man raises $20,000 to save 200 orphans from the orphan crushing machine. TBH, I'd rather see an undercover lobbyist bribing politicians. Let's find out how little money it takes for your local congressperson to sell out to corporations. Romantic face. It's so ridiculous how little money it takes. They bribed Reggie Bush to go run a football at USC more than most of these Congress people are getting. It's so ridiculous how little money it takes. Seriously, it's like as little as $2,500. You think corruption would be in the millions, but it's so little in real life. This actually happened in Sacramento in the 90s. It's known as shrimp scam, because the fake lobbyists were lobbying for a fake shrimp company, and there's an incredible LA Times expose on it called Web Link. Lobbying is actually really fascinating and pretty complex. I think this could actually be a pretty interesting concept. Well, we had Live PD. Also, Undercover Boss is fake scripted nonsense just like the rest of reality TV. I liked Live PD. RIP in peace Live PD. At first I misread this as Undercover Bees and thought damn I would watch the hell out of that show. Also your idea is cool too. Jessica, which one do you choose, Brandon, or Brian? I choose Brian. Oh, sorry, Brian was really 10,000 bees in disguise. Not again. Here I am looking to find an A+ kind of guy and all the men I picked turn out to be bees. Beads? Bees. Old Big Bear. He loved the honey. Gob's not on board. You'd probably be bored watching it and surprised at how awful people are. Anyone who works with the general public wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, people get the impression that cops are just non-stop action, either bashing minorities or getting in shootouts with the bad guys. Being a cop is a pretty boring job for the most part. I have an uncle that's a cop, and he basically hates the world. He gets called in to see people at their worst, which has changed his outlook on people. My mom said the exact same thing. I wish she was in a position to change her career. Heard the same from a lot of people working in ambulances, EMS. Apparently a majority of times calls are either people forgetting to take insulin/heart medication or other should not be an emergency if you had common sense situation. Leaves the kind people I knew jaded. I remember seeing in another thread how the same way some Uber Eats drivers recognize a location after delivering their often, EMTs also have regulars. So Live PD? How would you feel about stopping Horish? How would you feel about insert popular concept? It's so transparent and people eat this crap up. You'd be really disappointed. There are crafty cops, but there's way more crafty people. I used to work with the police department and everyone I worked with loved their body cams. It saved them a lot of time in court when people alleged they were racist or unprofessional in any way. They would just roll the tape and wait. Super true. Also 99.9% of police work is super boring, although you could say that about pretty much any job I suppose. Even when I was part of a super busy department, it was more like 96% boring or rudimentary bullcrap. Lo, you really want to watch us deal with meth head James for the 5th time tonight? Okay. Sort of exists. It is called body cam. A journalist in France did this. Surprise, surprise, a ton of racism and a predilection towards solving things violently. Web link. Guess what happens in America? They'll lock you in a effing psych ward. Web link. By the end of his 31st of October shift, Schoolcraft felt sick and intimidated. With permission from Huffman, he left the station an hour early, went home, took some NyQuil, and fell asleep. At 6 p.m., his father called with a warning message. He looked out the window and saw police massing in the street. He stayed on the phone. After 9 p.m., he heard people moving upstairs. The officers obtained a key to the apartment after telling the landlord that Schoolcraft was suicidal. Terrifying. Oh damn. Gosh, if someone wants to pull this off today, just leak it online, and get the footage uploaded everywhere, then run away and let society sort it out. I imagine it would be much harder for the police to keep it under wraps too with so much more scrutiny. The police will get away with it, but it'll be another dent in the armor. Something is going to give eventually. You mean like the guy that filmed Eric Garner's killing? Pretty sure NYPD's still harassing him, if he's not in jail already. Not only is he in jail, but he's being harassed and beaten by the guards. They even poisoned him once. He actually got released sometime around May last year. I mean, unless they found some reason to put him in jail again since then, which unfortunately would not surprise me. Kind of seems like an ideal candidate to claim asylum in another country to me. Seriously? Do you have any sources I could read? I hadn't heard all that yet. Gestures vaguely at all of the camera footage we have of cops literally murdering people. I feel like I just read the plot to the first original movie in years. They had that, it was called Live PD. I don't know why they cancelled it, but I love the show to death. Apply for job as police officer. Go through training. Rise through the ranks, making changes along the way. Become chief. Call it, cops. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. We welcome your comments below. Press to start another of our videos.